Hey there, my friends. It's Jen Pitta with By the Shore Stamping. Welcome into another edition of Teach Me Tuesday. So, show of hands, how many of you are actually still trying to figure out Christmas cards or holiday cards, or perhaps you're like me and have been working on them but realize you don't have enough? Raising my hand. So, I wanted to show you today, and it's kind of winging it. So I have one use for this, but I haven't figured out the second one. So I wanted to show you how to take a quick or piece of 6x6 paper and turn it into at least 3 cards. We might be able to get 4 out of it, but we'll see. Like I said, I know what the first 2 cards are because this was one of the designs I had for this year. So I'm going to show you that, and then we're going to turn the other 2 leftover pieces into another card or maybe 2. So that one is the part that I'm winging it. But I wanted to show you mostly that, you know, sometimes we look at a 6x6 piece of paper and we might think, we can't really get much out of this for a card because it's only 6x6, right? And our card bases are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So what I've found is the best way to utilize our 6x6 paper for cards is to cut it at 3 by 4. And actually, I'm going to cut 4 first because it's going to give me a different shape. So that leaves me with this. And actually, I think that will give me 1 more card. So we can get 3 cards out of this. And then we're going to do 3, and we'll have 2 3 by 4 pieces. Okay, so now I can create the same card twice with that. So I'll show you that. And then I have this extra piece that I can create a 3rd card with. So let's go ahead and show you how I did that. All right, so the first card, we're going to do doubles because we're going to make the same card twice. So it just makes sense to do it twice at the same time. I forgot to cut one of the pieces. So let me grab a piece of Whisper White. So again, these are 3 by 4. What also makes that a really great size is now I can take my 8 1/2 by 11 paper and I cut it at 4 1/4, which is going to make a perfect mat for this card. So I can actually cut this 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, and again by 3 1/4, and I could do it one more time actually. And so if I used both pieces of paper, I would get 6 of these perfect mats for this paper out of 1 sheet of paper. You can also, if you only needed half the sheet, this is now the perfect size to fold over and make a card base too. So it is a really good, resourceful way to use your cardstock. Okay, so next up for this card, I gotta find my sample again. We're just gonna need a scrap piece of white paper and a circle. Let me see if I have any in here. I don't, but that's okay. Oh, I do have white pieces though. So I need a piece of this. So let's grab this. And then we'll start with the card itself because it's pretty straightforward. So let me just do this. I'm using the Merry Moose bundle. So this is the last hurrah for our holiday catalog. Where's my bone folder? That actually goes through the end of the month and actually through January 4th. But right now we're having the year-end closeout. So a lot of this stuff is on sale and a lot of it is while supplies last. So if there was anything in this catalog that you absolutely loved and you wanted to have, make sure you grab that now. This is the Merry Moose bundle that I'm using today. It's the punch and the stamp set. And this actually carried over from last year. It was one of my super favorite bundles from last year, and I made a ton of cards with it, and I just wanted to use it again one more time this year because I love it so much. So yeah, that one is a must-have if you ask me. And then some of the stuff is carrying over, but most of it is going bye-bye. So some of it, like I said, is on sale. Check out the giant year-end closeout sale on the website. And then there's also a catalog, a clearance rack refresh that happened last week too. So definitely check that out. It's also I'm coming up on my 400,000 career to date milestone for Stampin' Up. So I'm also doing a special where I'm putting a new item into a reusable Stampin' Up! Tote each day this month. And at the end of the month, on December 31st, I'm going to do a drawing to give away that whole bag of goodies. Right now, there's 9 items, I believe, in the bag, and it includes stamp sets, punches, paper, embellishments. It's got all sorts of goodies in it. So definitely want to order this month so that you can get your name into that drawing for sure. It's going to be a good one. All right, so I'm going to pop this up. Let's see, where are my dimensionals? You'd think they're all handy here, but of course there's none. Oh, here we go. That have started. We're gonna do this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some dimensionals to the corners, and then I always like to throw one in the middle too. Oh, and we're doing 2 at a time, so let me just go ahead and do this too. See, I got talking and I forgot my method. So here will be 2 more cards for me. I think I'm at like almost 100 now that I've addressed and are ready to go, but I still need quite a few more, like another 100. So these 2 will come in handy and they'll go right into my bin of cards. All right, so actually it'll be 3 that I'll have when we're done. I'm gonna go ahead and fold this in half so we can do 2 at a time. This is Garden Green, and this is the Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper. This is one of the most versatile papers I've ever seen. It's 6x6, but like I said, if you use it the way I'm showing you today, you can get 3 cards out of this one sheet of paper. So it's a great way to use up your 6x6 for card making. It's also fun for scrapbookers too, because you can use those 6x6 layers on pages. And what's really great about our 6x6 packs is you get 4 of each design, which means you can do symmetry on your double page spreads. I don't know if you're like me, but I'm a very linear scrapbooker, so I like the pages to coordinate. So that's a great perk too. All right, let's go ahead, peel these off. Whoops. And get those out of the way. I find these everywhere. Do you guys do that too? But they're so good. They're so worth it. All right. There's my base. Okay. And then next up, we're going to take the stamp set. Let's grab the stamp set. Merry Christmas. I'm going to use this. You can see this stamp set has gotten a lot of love. I love it so, so much. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get rid of it. All right. So I'm going to put this on a block. We're going to use Early Espresso. Could use Crumb Cake too, because Crumb Cake is in the Designer Series paper. But I wanted the Early Espresso for the mousse because I want them to really stand out. So I'm just going to do, whoops, that's a little bit crooked. Let's flip that. Let me try that again. I wasn't really watching what I was doing. There we go. That's better. I'm going to do it again here. Okay. Oh, there's lines in that one. I don't know what's on my stamp, but something's on it. So we'll just flip it over. Do it on the opposite side. I want them to be really thin anyway, so that won't matter. Okay, perfect. All right, so now I'm going to take my trimmer, trim these down a little bit. Probably like that. And then I want it really close to the words, so we'll just do a quick scoop like that. I am going to leave a little bit of extra because I'm going to tuck it under my circle. So now this one, let's go ahead and do that. You could pre-measure them too. Actually, I can probably take a little bit off of this one too. There we go. Okay, so there's our greetings. Now, as I said, we're gonna do the, I'm gonna grab some actually, I used Garden Green on the other one. Let me see if I have any cherry cobbler. I do have some scrap pieces. Let's go ahead and do that for my circle. So I'm gonna use my circle punches to do the focus element. I'm gonna use a 2-inch and the 1 3/4. We don't sell the 1 3/4 anymore, although I believe I saw that on, I'm not sure, I might have seen that in the clearance rack, so definitely check that out. It's one I use a lot. So we're going to grab 2-inch and 1 3/4. So for the 2-inch, I'm just going to punch 2 here, 1 and 2. And then for the 1 3/4 inch, we're going to grab that leftover piece of white I had, and And we'll punch 2 of those. And then I'm going to show you the most adorable little die cutting machine. So, it's not yet available to general public, but you can get it in your starter kit if you wanted to purchase the Stampin' Up! Starter Kit. This is $60. It's the little mini embossing machine. How stinking cute is that, right? I'll show it next to the bigger one. These are awesome machines. So this one you can see is significantly larger, but that's our regular sized one. It doesn't even really fit in the screen very well. So this mini one's really cute if you have a smaller craft space and you don't really need a ton of usage for this. It would be good. It doesn't fit the larger embossing folders, but Stampin' Up! Has some smaller embossing folders that work great in here, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then it also fits the dies, the thin paper thin dies. Those will go through here too, as long as they're not too wide. But it's also really great if you do a lot of cropping on the go. Of course, we haven't been able to do a lot of that this year, but hopefully that will return in the future. But it's just really great for a small little desktop kind of machine, a little less intimidating. So you can see the plates are a little bit skinnier, a little bit tinier, still have the numbering on them though, so you know how to use them, and the pictures to show you what goes with what. So I'm going to do, this is for the 3D embossing folders, so the ones that are really thick, and this is for the standard one. So I'm going to use this one and my 2 cutting plates. So I don't need base plate. You can see I haven't even used this yet. You're going to be here when I christen this. All right, so we're going to put the embossing plate down first, then one of, oh, actually, you know what? I lied. I'm doing it wrong. I'm not looking at the directions. You do need your base plate. You need 1. And then your embossing folder goes in the middle with the pieces. So I'm using this, see how it's skinnier? I'm using this polka dot pattern one. And I'm going to put both my circles in at once. Oops, I got cat hair on there too. That's an added bonus. And then we're going to stick the number 3 on top. So see how right here it shows you. So number 1, which was my base plate, 1. And then our folder with the paper, that's there. And then number 3 is on top. So it gives you the little recipe right on top. And then we just stick it in the machine. Oh, it goes like a dream, you guys. It's so easy. Pop that through. So fun. So it's just a smaller machine. Like I said, it's $60. It's not yet available to customers, but it should be available in January, hopefully. But like I said, if you have to have it now, we can add this to your starter kit. So just reach out to me and let me know. What's cool about the starter kit, yes, it does make you a demonstrator, but there's no obligation. If you don't want to do classes and events, that's totally fine. Of course, if you do, it can totally support your habit. And you still get a 20% discount regardless of your reason for joining. So you'd get a 20% discount on all the new goodies that are out right now. And it's just a really great deal for the starter kit too, because it's $125 worth of product of your choice, and you get it for $99 plus tax. So free shipping and an extra $26. So you save 20% on that as well. All right, so I'm going to tape these here. And I think I just ran out of tape. I did. Oh, I might have another one right here. Let's see if this one has any in here. Come on. Yep, it does. So I'm going to attach those to there. Just adds a little bit of an element to those. See? Cute little embossing parts. All right, so now we're going to, whoops, I kind of put that on really crooked, I think, but we're going to let it go. We're going to go ahead and do the sentiment. I am going to cut a little bit off this because it's a little bit long. And I'm going to cut a banner end in that. I should be using my paper snips here. But this is what's handy, so that's what I'm using. So we're going to cut that. Okay, so there's one. And here's a second one. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but the cat is crying at the door. I kicked her out right before I went live, or right before I started recording. She's so bad when I'm doing videos. She's naughty, naughty kitty. All right, so I'm going to tape these down. We're actually doing a bunch of, we have like a gift wrapping station set up in our room, and it's like Christmas to the cats. Like, they're in the bags, they're in the paper. So we've been trying to keep them out of the room as much as possible in general, just because it's like a playground in here for them. All right, so then I'm going to just tape this down on top like that. And then we're going to do this on top like that. Okay, so the last part of this is we need to do our little moose. So I'm going to grab the stamp set again. So Merry Christmas. We're going to need our moose. And I stamped him actually not on white. I stamped him on crumb cake. So let's see if I have some scrap crumb cake hanging around. Of course I do. It's my favorite color in the whole world. All right, we're going to grab this. And again, we're going to use the Early Espresso. And this is why I love this bundle so much, because it's a punch and stamp bundle. I love punches. They make crafting so much easier. As much as I love my die cutting machine and being able to do like intricate stuff and all that pretty stuff, it's just really nice to have the instant gratification of a punch. Okay, so I stamped my 2 moose. It is a lifelong goal of mine to see a moose in person. Just saying. Been to Maine and New Hampshire a couple of times this summer and this winter, or last winter, and I'm just like, I want to see one in real life, but just not in front of my car. That's my only rule. Because I don't want to hit one. That would be very bad. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and punch him out. And we got 2 little moose. Does that make it meese? That's what I used to always say for mice. My friend and I used to always do that. We got 2 little mice when we had mice in the apartment, which was not fun. Back in the early days, my 20s, when life was so much simpler, right? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add some dimensionals to these guys. Bruce the Moose. I don't know why I just named him, but I did. We're going to add some dimensionals to Bruce. And we'll add him here. How stinking cute, right? Oh my gosh, I love it. And then we'll grab this, stick that here too. Fun, right? So there's 2. Let me just show you the version that I did before. So I ran out of cherry cobbler cardstock, so I had to switch the background. But look at, you can do, it's the same paper, but it has so much versatility. They even look very different. Like this one's actually very rustic and homey. So is this one, but it's a little bit brighter and bolder. So I don't know. I like the variety of that. All right. So now, as you remember, we have 1 more piece left, right? So let's go ahead and make 1 more card. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. I've already scored a piece of Whisper White. And we can stick this down like that, right? I'm just going to trim this down so we actually have a little bit extra, but I don't really think I'll be able to use much of that. Now, if I wasn't still looking to make some more Christmas cards, we could totally flip this cardstock over, or paper over, and make an everyday card with it. So, very, very versatile paper. So I'm going to actually stick this down here. I'm going to go ahead and commit. I don't usually do that until I know what I'm doing, and I may regret it later. But I'm just going to do it. So we're going to do this. Now, I have what I call the Island of Misfit Toys. And that is a little bag of goodies that I've collected this holiday season from cards that I was designing, but maybe cut something for it and it just didn't work on that card or what have you. So I have a little pile of goodies. That did not cut very well because it was very sticky. Where's my little pile of goodies? There. So I still want to use my moose, but I want to see if I have anything in here that I can use as my base. So see, I have a bunch of stuff that's already cut. So I could use this. These trees are a little wonky. That's why they're in here. They were cut for a class, but this one's not bad. I didn't quite cut them right. So maybe I could do something like this. Although I really want Mr. Moose, Bruce the Moose, to be the focus. So I'm just going to see what I have in here for die cuts. I have this one. I'm wondering if I should use something that is a different color than white, because I used a white base. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but whatevs. All right, I'm just looking through my goodies, see what I have. But this is a great way to kind of shortcut your stamping and designing time, because you can just use stuff that you have in your stash. So you can see I have a bunch of stuff in my stash, but none of that's going to work for me. Maybe this crumb cake piece though, although it's not really die cut or anything, but I could do this. All right, I'm getting an idea. Maybe I'll do this. I'll stamp some of those trees in the background in the brown. Okay, it's coming to me, my friends. I told you I was winging it on the second one. So there's this little scrap piece. I'm gonna grab another block. I feel like this method actually allows me to be really creative, and it always makes me feel so productive when I'm done, because I feel like I've used up some of my stash, and it allows me to be creative and go back to the joy of creating, because it kind of gives you parameters to work from. So sometimes I feel like I get too wrapped up in all the things. So if I only have a limited amount of supplies, then it kind of limits the stress for me sometimes. I love this tree. Isn't that a beautiful tree? So I'm just going to stamp a series of these. And I could mask them if I wanted to so that they wouldn't overlap like that, but I think it looks more like a forest, so we're going to let it go. Okay, so we'll do that. Maybe I don't need Bruce the Moose, because that's just really pretty all by itself. But I feel like we need to have Bruce the Moose. Okay, so there's that. I actually feel like I might want to mount this. This is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Let's cut this down a little bit, even though I just stamped it. I'm going to take a little bit off the top and the bottom, because I want to equal it out. So 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, so we're going to cut it 3 by 4 instead. And I'll take a little off of each side. And like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and mount it onto some cherry cobbler if I have any. I'm running low on these, but I do have, oh, here's some scrap pieces. Let me grab a piece. Oh, that's not going to be big enough. Where's the other one I had? I had another piece. All right. Oh, here it is. Is that big enough? I think so. 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Uh-oh. Gonna be really close. Oh, but it makes it. All right. Perfect. So now I can tape that to here. Right? See where I'm going? So let's do that. I might add some ribbon to this one. Like this. Okay, let's do some linen thread around here. I don't know, I might not need Mr. Moose. We'll see. Cut this off. I am going for simple because we want these to be super easy to recreate, right? So I'm going to do a little knot here. I always tie a knot first with my linen thread because it gives me a little bit more stability when I'm tying a bow. Like that. We'll floof that up a little bit. Like so. Trim it down. Okay. And then I'm going to attach it to the card with some dimensionals. I don't think I'm actually going to use Mr. Bruce the Moose because I'm liking this tree card all by itself. All right, so we're going to add some dimensionals, but I do need a greeting on here. Let's see what my options are. Oh, I like, there's one Happiest of Holidays, so I think I might use that. I kind of want something that's long and skinny for this, so that will work perfect. And I think I'm going to pull out that green, so I'm going to use a strip of garden green. Garden green. I have some paper in here. So, whoops, I grabbed two. I'm going to, so see, this is what I'm looking at. This was the stamp set, but I like Happiest of Holidays. I think that will work really nicely. This one would be nice to enjoy the stillness of the season, which I could stick somewhere on there, or maybe even like a circle right here and do that, or right here and do that. But I think I'm going to do the long skinny one. That was my initial thought. So let's pull that. And I'm getting all excited. I'm breaking the place. We're going to do Happiest of Holidays, again in the early espresso. If you can kind of limit your ink colors as you're stamping, it will really make everything go faster too. Okay, so Happiest of Holidays. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim that really skinny. See? Okay, and I think I'm going to put it down here. So now the question is, do I want it to go, oh, maybe I want it to go all the way across and then I should center it. Or do I want it to just kind of be flush against the side? I think I might just do that just because I already did that. All right, so let's just go ahead, cut this off. And then I'm going to do a banner end on this side. Cut in the center. And then corner to center, corner to center. And I'm just going to lay that right like this. My bow is a little in the way, so let's pull that back a little bit. I might need to secure that with a glue dot. There we go. Fold over this. I love the Seal Plus for that, because even if I go off the edges, I can just fold it over like this. And I'm going to put it right like that. Okay, I'm going to grab a mini glue dot to get that bow to sit where I want it to. You can actually use take your pick tool for this and just pick up the glue dot. And then I just kind of fold it over under here and position my bow where I want it. Like that. Okay, these guys are a little wonky. There, that's better. I'm going to trim them a little bit. I don't really need them that long. Okay, then my last step, I'm going to grab some Wink of Stella, and we're just going to add that to our little trees. You do want to be careful with this Wink of Stella because it will act like a watercoloring agent, so give your ink some time to dry before you add this on, and just beware that it may kind of smudge it a little bit. But for me, it doesn't really matter in this card because it's just kind of filling in the branches a little bit so it looks like a fuller tree. Alright, so I'm just adding some glitz to all of this. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'll bring it up closer as soon as I'm done. And that will be the end of my card. You could add a little star to the top of one. I don't think I have any. We have two different types of stars. All the trimmings, embellishments from the Trimming the Town suite has little yellow stars. And then we also have what's the other one? The copper stars. That would be pretty too. Although, you know what? I could add some little red ornaments, but I think I'm going to leave well enough alone. I have the wonderful gems, which would be really cute as ornaments. Can you see the glitz? Isn't that pretty? So there you go. 3 simple cards made out of one 6x6 piece of paper. So, oh my gosh, look how ridiculously crooked that is. Holy moly, you guys. Let me try this again. Boy. I don't know how that happened, but I'm going to pull it apart a little bit and fix that. There. Okay, that's better. Whoops, I pulled up the paper a little bit. There. Okay, 3 cards using one sheet of 6x6 paper. So you can get a lot of those done. That you saw how quick and easy that was. So if you're in need of some more holiday cards, that's a great recipe for you. If not, if you want to get stocked and get ahead, this would be a great layout for a masculine card too. So you could maybe get some stack of masculine cards done, or you could even just do any kind of cards, really. Just switch up the paper and the patterns and the colors, and you'll be good to go. So don't forget, if you place an order during December using the host code, I will go ahead and enter you for the Fill the Tote challenge, or not challenge, but the drawing, which I'm doing on December 31st. And also be sure to go to Facebook and like my page, By the Shore Stamping. I'm doing a catalog countdown event on Facebook, doing Facebook Lives for 10 days beginning December 28th. So I would love to have you join me there too. And as always, if you like this video, go ahead and hit like. And if you really want to make my day, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. All right, thanks so much. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.